Hola, soy Melissa Bertier. Bienvenidos a este programa especial sobre las elecciones en Miami Beach. La Comisión de la Ciudad de Miami Beach ha autorizado este programa para informar a los ciudadanos acerca de las próximas elecciones generales y especiales de Miami Beach, que se llevarán a cabo el martes 3 de noviembre del 2015. Usted tendrá la oportunidad de escuchar a los candidatos, así como aprender sobre las dos preguntas de la boleta de Miami Beach. La Comisión de la Ciudad se compone de 6 comisionados electos y un alcalde electo. Los comisionados son elegidos por un mandato de 4 años y un límite de mandato de 2 términos. Los términos se escalonan, así que la mitad de la comisión es elegida cada 2 años, el alcalde es elegido cada 2 años con un límite máximo de mandato de 3 términos. La elección del 3 de noviembre ha sido llamado para elegir un alcalde actualmente que ocupa Philip Levine, para elegir un comisionado en el grupo 4, actualmente puesto que ocupa Jonah Wolfson, para elegir un comisionado en el grupo 5, que actualmente ocupa Edward Tobin, y para elegir también el comisionado en el grupo 6, el cual está ocupado actualmente por Didi Whitehorn. Los comisionados Jonah Wolfson, Edward Tobin y Didi Whitehorn han llegado al máximo límite de su mandato y no pueden postularse de nuevo. 2 residentes han calificado para alcalde, 6 residentes han calificado para comisionado en el grupo 4, 2 residentes han calificado para comisionado en el grupo 5 y 2 residentes han calificado para comisionado en el grupo 6. Los 2 candidatos a la alcaldía de Miami Beach son Philip Levine y David S. Weider. Aquí está el candidato a la alcaldía, Philip Levine.
For nearly 2 years, it has been an incredible honor and pleasure to serve as your mayor in one of the greatest cities in the world, Miami Beach. Because we pulled together, because we believed in each other, I'm proud to say that the city of Miami Beach is on the move again, that our city is working again for its residents, its businesses, and for people around the world who visit here, invest here, and tell all who will listen how special Miami Beach truly is. To live up to that standard, we have taken on challenges that far too often in the past were overlooked or simply dismissed as beyond remedy. Together, we've become a role model for other cities who, like us, are combating the effects of rising sea levels. We've already made a major investment by installing the first in a series of new pumps that will return filtered water off of our streets and back to the sea. We're making real progress on the west side of our city, Sunset Harbor, Alton Road, and West Avenue. The streets there are drier today. Rest assured, we're just getting started. Together we built and upgraded public parks and added new green space for our seniors, our families, and our pets. Together, we ended the boondoggle over the convention center that resulted from a bad and corrupt process that put the interest of developers ahead of residents. Today, with an open and transparent process, we are renovating and upgrading our convention center into a 21st century attraction that fits our image and our needs without impacting our quality of life. Just as importantly, a future ballot referendum will give residents the final say over any lease for a hotel. To restore public confidence in our police department and promote greater agency morale, we recruited a nationally respected police chief and the first African-American deputy chief in our history to transform the culture and renew confidence with the residents they serve. I'm very proud of this achievement, and we are already seeing changes which are making a difference. On historic preservation, I understand how protecting the best from our past has everything to do with our future, and how in the past, poor policy and a non-responsive city hall allowed bad things to happen. So in the past 2 years, working with Commissioner Malikoff and local historic preservationists, we have implemented fair and reasonable reforms to encourage preservation of our historic homes and neighborhoods and to stop the construction of McMansions in Miami Beach, while also respecting property rights. In addition, we have held the line against the kind of overdevelopment that only adds to density in our neighborhoods and worsens traffic on our roads. As you know, I'm a businessman, not a professional politician. But after knocking on 6,000 doors in my first campaign for mayor 2 years ago, I learned the key to leading is listening, not to yourself, but to others. That's why I self-funded my first campaign, as I am this one, and also why I refused to collect a salary and paid for all my city travel and other expenses and dedicated to learning how I can even more help the incredible people who live here. That's also why, after listening to public opinion over the past 2 months about the increasing money and influence behind political PACs, that I've decided to lead the effort to make Miami Beach the model for campaign finance reform by backing legislation that will prohibit members of the commission, including the mayor, from soliciting any form of money, political or otherwise, from vendors, lobbyists, and city real estate developers. After we pass those reforms here, I intend to help others doing the same throughout the rest of Florida. 2 years ago, Miami Beach was suffering from a government that cared too much about itself than about us. When streets were flooding without relief and calls for help from residents were unheeded without regret. When the system was more interested in holding us back than moving us forward. So while my opponent spends his time on personal attacks against me and ignoring the real issues people care about, I'm going to keep getting up in the morning and doing everything I can to honor the city I love. As a businessman who created hundreds of jobs by turning challenges into opportunities, I knew we could do better. We had to do better, and we are. My working philosophy is simple: just get it done. I'd like to think that's why Miami Beach today works better and does more than it has in a very long time, and then why this is the time to keep moving forward and stay the course. We are fixing floodings. We are changing the culture of our police department. We are about to begin the renovation of our convention center. We are rejuvenating North Beach. We are preserving our neighborhoods. We have brought back customer service to our government. And soon, we'll be launching a state-of-the-art public transportation system to reduce traffic. We are accomplishing these things and more together. I'm Philip Levine, the mayor, and I'd appreciate your continued support to do just that.
Aquí está el candidato a la alcaldía, David S. Weeder.
I'm David Weeder, and I want to be your mayor. Let me tell you why. I've never run for office and never expected to be running for mayor. However, the corruption in our city compelled me to run. Simply, our residents need a real choice for honesty and integrity. I've spent a lifetime building a reputation of integrity, a reputation that was attacked in an effort to intimidate me from running against our current mayor. I am a graduate of the University of Miami and New England Law and have been honored with 2 certificates of meritorious public service from the Florida Bar and a certificate of merit from the Dade County Bar. I have the highest rating obtainable by an attorney, a preeminent AV rating from Martindale-Hubbell. I spent my entire career fighting for the little guy. I've been married to the same woman, my lovely wife Catherine, for 47 years. I'm the proud father of a son and a daughter, and I have 4 grandsons. I'm a past treasurer of the American Jewish Committee. I chair the Historic Preservation Board and was recently unanimously reappointed and have served for the last 6 years. I grew up in Miami and raised my family here. I love this town. 2 years ago, you were assaulted by a relentless barrage of emails, extravagantly produced television commercials, and slick direct mail, telling you that Philip Levine cared so much about our residents that you were likely to confuse him with a saint, all paid for by the mayor's millions. He fooled many good people. He sure fooled me. What we have gotten is a mayor and his cronies who are cashing in by overdeveloping our city. Mayor Levine's management style engenders such fear and intimidation that those who work for our city and dare to disagree with him are afraid of being fired. That's why I am challenging him for mayor. I believe our city cannot withstand 2 more years of Philip Levine's management style. That is why I'm asking you to vote for me, David Weeder, for mayor. In me, you will actually get someone who cares about the quality of our life and will do everything he can do to prevent any further degradation of our town. Once again, in his effort to be reelected, the mayor is spending millions to fund an avalanche of propaganda that distorts the truth. Our mayor's crocodile smile and vacuous slogan, "Just get it done," masks his cynical hypocrisy. When he first ran to get himself elected, the mayor slandered the previous commission by accusing them of corruption and saying they got nothing done. Now, to get himself reelected, he has the audacity to take credit for the previous commission's work. Those flooding pumps that were installed to keep our streets dry at a cost of hundreds of millions of dollars, approved by the previous commission. The mayor claims he reformed our city's finances, also approved by the previous commission. My opponent claims that he cleaned up corruption, yet 2 of his finance directors recently resigned under a cloud of suspicion. Just look at what they are trying to do at Rebecca Towers. While the mayor professes his endless love for the residents there, he trots out his slate of candidates to garner their votes while his campaign consultant lobbies to redevelop the property and throw the residents out of their homes. Our mayor surrounds himself with chauffeurs, bodyguards, and public relations experts, paid for by our tax dollars. He claims people come first at City Hall, yet when I talk to residents, many complain bitterly how hard it is to get anyone from City Hall to return a phone call unless you hired one of the mayor's favored lobbyists. When I look at our neighborhoods, I see a uniquely diverse city, each section having a sense of place that needs to be nurtured and treated according to its unique contextual fabric. When our mayor looks at our neighborhoods, he sees nothing but development opportunities and money to pad the pockets of his cronies. If you want a city hall run by lobbyists and developers, vote for my opponent. If you want a mayor with proven integrity who will take back the keys to City Hall from the lobbyists and developers, vote for me, David Weeder, to be your next mayor. Thank you for your vote.
Los 6 candidatos para la comisión del Grupo 4 son Michael De Filippi, Scott Diffenderfer, Kristen Rosen Gonzalez, Isaiah Mosley, Jonathan Parker y Betsy Perez. Aquí está el candidato para comisionado Michael De Filippi.
Hello, I'm Michael De Filippi. I asked you to vote for me so that I can serve as your Miami Beach City Commissioner. I want to apply my leadership qualities to transform Miami Beach into a more efficient city. I appreciate this opportunity to tell you about my background, how I got involved as an activist, and what specific solutions I will implement as your Group 4 Commissioner. I'm a realtor and have my bachelor's degree in hospitality management from the University of Massachusetts. My journey in becoming a candidate is an inspiring story and a perfect example of how democracy should work. I came to Miami Beach because of our beautiful beaches, cultural opportunities, and incredible energy. Unfortunately, I soon realized that uncleanliness, poor road conditions, and government inefficiencies were severe threats to our quality of life. Instead of complaining, I decided to proactively take the initiative and start a movement. I created a group called Clean Up Miami Beach with the goals of improving blighted areas and removing trash from our waterways. I want to inspire other residents to have pride in our community and give back. I believe I've successfully done that. The group has grown to over 2,000 members and has been cited in the local media for our efforts. My activism evolved into a role in which I've worked alongside current city commissioners. I was appointed to the Miami Beach Sustainability Committee and helped initiate the Styrofoam Ordinance. I built relationships with elected officials from neighboring communities such as Surfside and North Bay Village, proving my reach and influence goes beyond Miami Beach. I've decided to take the next step and run for City Commission because as someone who has intimately worked within the system, I know there are many inefficiencies. I'm about action and results and have very specific goals and ordinances I will sponsor to make my vision a reality. My first act as City Commissioner will be to sponsor legislation creating a Miami Beach Inspector General's office, which will ensure integrity in government operations and will protect honest employees. I've touched on cleanliness, and that's extremely important to me. We have a severe shortage of public trash cans. I will initiate a full analysis of current locations and will set specific goals towards implementing a trash can on every street corner. Our beach is our most vital asset, and it should be pristine at all times. We must invest in additional beach sifting resources and improve current operations. We can do so much better. I want to change the culture of city employees into one that is proactive. Oftentimes, issues are only addressed by code compliance and sanitation departments if citizens complain. This is unacceptable, and our employees need to be properly trained on how to be proactive. This approach improves quality of life issues and reduces crime and blight. I have many creative solutions regarding traffic and parking. I want to explore using water taxis and ferries as more conventional mass transit options are many years away. We need creative ways to get people out of the cars and into more sustainable methods of transportation to reduce congestion. I've learned that people want new leadership and someone with a fresh vision. If elected, this will be a victory for the people of Miami Beach. With my vision, I will take the city to places it's never been before while always remembering that the people are first. I might be the next commissioner for group number 4, but this seat will be occupied by all of you. If you'd like to learn more about my vision, please visit acleanermiamibeach.com or call me directly at 305-588-9469. Please vote for me, Michael De Filippi, in group number 4, so I can serve as your city commissioner for a cleaner and more efficient Miami Beach. Thank you.
Aquí está el candidato para comisionado Scott Diffenderfer.
Hi, I'm Scott Diffenderfer. I am running for Miami Beach City Commission because I think we are facing some of the toughest challenges in our city's history. I was born and raised in Miami and moved to the beach in 1992, just after Hurricane Andrew. I am proud to have been part of this city's transformation into the sophisticated international city that it is today. I love living in Miami Beach, but traffic gridlock, limited transportation options, sea level rise, and irresponsible development are seriously threatening our quality of life. These are issues that are complex and regional in nature, and Miami Beach can't solve them acting alone. Strong, collaborative relationships between city, county, and state governments are required to effectively address these issues. We need to identify resources so that our city can continue to make significant investments in our infrastructure. I have a proven record of building consensus and getting people to work together to solve problems, and I look forward to bringing those skills to the Miami Beach Commission. There is no doubt that traffic congestion poses a serious challenge to our quality of life, and it's having a negative impact on our businesses as well. As a member of the city's Transportation, Parking, and Bicycle Pedestrian Facilities Committee for the past 7 years, I have always worked to increase our transportation options. I championed the expansion of the South Beach Local, and I strongly supported the implementation of the Airport Flyer Express bus. I was an early and strong advocate for the Deco bicycle sharing program, as well as Hertz On Demand and Car2Go's expansion to Miami Beach. I fully support legalization of Lyft and Uber in Miami-Dade County so we can continue to have these valuable services. Our city must continue to explore additional transportation options and prioritize light rail, expanded trolley routes, and circulator buses. We need to connect Miami Beach to the mainland and connect North and South Beach through a sensible and effective system that gives residents and visitors the option to get around our city without cars. But since cars are going to be around for the foreseeable future, we need to do a much better job of managing traffic flow. It's inexcusable that our traffic lights are not fully synchronized and that we are not effectively enforcing traffic laws for cars, pedestrians, and cyclists. If I'm elected, mobility will be my #1 priority. As the past president of 2 condo associations, I oversaw several large, complicated projects, including the construction of a seawall, installation of a cooling tower, a 40-year recertification, and a concrete restoration project. I implemented a special assessment to pay for these projects, balanced a $2 million budget, and built reserves funds for my condo association, even though the economy was in the midst of a recession. I earned the trust of skeptical residents with my collaborative, no-nonsense, and approachable leadership style. Currently, I serve as president of the Belle Isle Residents Association, where I've worked to solve problems in my neighborhood for over 8 years. I worked with the city to alleviate street flooding caused by a faulty outflow pipe. I advocated for an outdoor control unit to be installed on our pump station, and I fought to get additional landscaping installed in our park. I collaborated with the Design Review Board and neighborhood residents to successfully protect our neighborhood from an incompatible proposed development. I graduated from the Miami Beach Leadership Academy in 2008. I served on the last Charter Review Committee and was an active member of an evaluation committee for traffic engineering consultant services in 2014. I was an original member of the Miami Beach Gay Business Development Council, which established the Miami Beach Gay Pride Parade. For years, I worked in nonprofit organizations producing large, special events and fundraising for worthwhile causes, many which benefited the residents of Miami Beach. As a realtor for the last 11 years, I have firsthand knowledge of why people come to Miami Beach and why they leave. I have formed many strong relationships with residents and city staff over the years, and I have an understanding of what is working well in our city and what we can do better. I'm really excited to bring my experience to the Miami Beach Commission so we can successfully and creatively address the challenges we face as a community. With your support and your vote on November 3rd, we can make Miami Beach an even better place to live, work, and visit. My name is Scott Diffenderfer, and I will work hard to make a difference. Thank you for your support.
Aquí está la candidata para comisionado, Kristen Rosen González.
Hi, I'm Kristen Rosen Gonzalez, and I'm honored to be running for our Miami Beach City Commission. I'd like to begin by telling you a little about myself. I'm a single mother with 3 wonderful children, and I've lived in our magic city of Miami Beach for over 20 years. My daughter Isabella just graduated magna cum laude from Miami Beach Senior High, and she's now attending college on an academic scholarship. My son Pablo is a freshman at Beach High, and he's on the Miami Beach rowing team. And my youngest, Franny, 12 years old and in the 7th grade. My kids are the most precious gems, and I'm grateful every day for being a mother because it teaches compassion, and it is the most important role I have in life. My father, David Rosen, was an orphan Jewish immigrant from Romania who fled religious persecution in hopes of a better life in America. He later met my stunning mother at the Fontainebleau Hotel during an Anne Margaret concert in 1970, fell in love, got married, and I was a product of this wonderful union. I grew up in a loving family amidst the sunshine and surf, surrounded by the magnificent mansions and splendid synagogues and churches of Miami Beach. I'm currently a tenured professor at Miami-Dade College, the largest community college in the United States, with more than 170,000 students. At MDC, we educate 40% of the community and train people to find jobs. Every day that I set foot on an MDC campus and enter a classroom, I know that I'm making a difference in my students' lives, and it is a fulfilling life's work. I'm also presently a PhD candidate at Barry University, and I'm writing my doctoral thesis on how Florida colleges can better educate students to obtain higher paying jobs. In the short time that we have to spend together, I would like to share with you my thoughts and beliefs about the current state of our city. Aren't you tired of sitting in traffic and congestion, sweaty and late, not able to get to where you need to go on time? Aren't you tired of rounding a corner just to hit another detour sign? And what about all these broken streets, piles of dust and dirt everywhere, and construction vehicles in the way? Our quality of life in Miami Beach has deteriorated. And now, we need to stand up as a community and say, enough is enough. We deserve better than this. We need to stand up to special interest groups who have their own agendas and not those of the residents. And we need to stand up to lobbyists who want to influence elected officials by raising large amounts of questionable PAC money to use in campaigns. Miami Beach is such a magical place that many people who don't live here want to profit from us, and I'm not going to let that happen. We will fight against irresponsible development here on Miami Beach. We are building with reckless abandon and without proper planning for our future. And we don't want to be a city that is overcrowded and overpopulated with long lines and too much traffic. We want to retain our charm, make sure that Miami Beach stays the unique and infamous place it is, while still progressing and building and evolving into the global model of the 21st century urban resort community. We need to implement mass transit, renovate our convention center, make sure we don't pollute the bay, and use the best technology to make sure our streets stay clean and we do not flood. We are already the national model in sea level rise pumping systems. We must continue to be the first and the best, and I know we can if we have the right people on the commission. As your commissioner, I pledge to be your voice, which represents our best interest. That takes courage and conviction, but I have both and a passion to do the right thing for our city. This is our city, and I'm going to fight for residents and make sure it shines. On Tuesday, November 3rd, when you go into that polling place, I'm going to ask for your most precious right, your vote, because when you vote for me, then I'll be able to vote for you. Vote Kristen Rosen Gonzalez, punch number 44. Thank you, and God bless. Gracias, y que Dios lo bendiga.
Aquí está el candidato para comisionado, Isaiah Mosley.
Hello, my name is Isaiah Mosley. I'm a scientist and a candidate for Miami Beach City Commissioner, Group 4. As a scientist and stormwater management inspector, I specialize in water resources, both marine and fresh. But we'll get into that shortly. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm a native Floridian from Niceville, Florida. I come from a family of 13 children. I studied biology and chemistry at Florida State University. I started my career as a scientist on the north end of the watershed with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. And as I pursued my career in science, I moved down to Miami Beach, where I continued my active participation in community service. community service, which includes environmental restorations, and meeting with today's youth to encourage them to pursue a career in science. As I continued with the environmental restorations, both in work and out, the threat of sea level rise made itself all too clear. Our city sits on a bed of porous limestone and sand. We cannot build dikes to keep the water out. It will rise up from underneath. Projections indicate a rise in sea levels up to 6.6 feet by the year 2100. And in the past 20 years, the rate of sea level rise has been 80% faster than the best estimate by the UN Governmental Panel on Climate Change. Sea level is rising and is likely to rise faster as each decade passes due to ocean warming and land-based ice melt. We must act so we can adapt before the disaster rather than rebuild after the disaster. Now you may ask, why do we need a scientist on commission? Because without a scientific voice on commission, no one has the technical expertise to recognize the secondary and tertiary impacts to the environment as the city implements this $500 million plan to combat these rising seas. A plan that proposes to install approximately 70 pump stations beachwide. A plan that calls to evacuate the streets of water. But no one has had the foresight to recognize we are also evacuating the streets of all their contaminants, including bacteria, trace metals, and elevated levels of nutrients directly into our Biscayne Bay Aquatic Reserve. Alternative mitigative techniques could have been employed to reduce these harmful impacts, but without a scientific voice on commission, the plan was approved. We cannot destroy our aquatic reserve. Our aquatic reserve, which is said to bring more than $6 billion in annual economic benefit to our region and provides well more than 50,000 jobs. To not maintain our water quality, the economic impacts would be devastating. And consider the tourism industry. Who would want to come to an island surrounded by polluted waters? I've given this much consideration, and a multifaceted approach must be employed. We must immediately increase the minimum finished floor elevation. We must improve our stormwater pump stations. I call for the implementation of a Green Streets program to absorb and divert rainfall. And as we continue to elevate the roadways and sidewalks, we must also elevate our critical infrastructure and facilities, all while potentially incentivizing owner-builder compliance. But if we don't take these first steps, none of my other great ideas for our city will have the chance to be enjoyed or appreciated. Ideas like the expedited completion of the boardwalk around our island, which would allow for the safe passage of our cyclists and pedestrians as we traverse our island, and the installation of multimodal systems at new locations to ease public travel and reduce traffic frustrations. My plan for our city includes a variety of benefits, including reduced flood risk and less chance for costly damage, reduced flood insurance premiums, improved leasing terms for owners and tenants, increased economic investment, all while maintaining our destination attraction and tourism. So it's for these reasons I say, vote for the scientist, vote for Isaiah Mosley, and let's do this together. Thank you.
Aquí está el candidato para comisionado, Jonathan Parker.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Parker, and I'm running for Miami Beach City Commissioner in Group 4. Please vote for me by punching number 46 on Election Day, November 3rd. Hola, me llamo Jonathan Parker. Soy candidato para comisionado de la ciudad de Miami Beach en Grupo 4. Por favor, vota por mí. Marque el número 46 en el día de las elecciones. Today, I hope you'll get an idea of who I am, what I can do for you as your next commissioner in Group 4, and why I am more qualified than my opponents. First, let me tell you that I came to Miami 31 years ago from New Jersey by way of New Orleans. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Math and Computer Science from Tulane University and a law degree from the University of Miami. I first visited Miami Beach as a child in the early 1970s, and I've lived in Miami Beach for the past 25 years. So I have personal perspective on the changes in the city. I'm a lawyer and local business owner. Being a graduate of the city's Leadership Academy and having served on 3 different city committees and a contract review panel, I'm not new to the mechanics of City Hall. Now let me ask you an important question. Do you think Miami Beach has changed for the better in the last 2 years? Does the traffic congestion, overdevelopment, flooding, and code enforcement make you feel like you live in paradise? I bet the answer to both questions is no, and I'm the person to help change all that. I'm a leader, having run several businesses, nonprofit organizations, and a condominium association. I'm also a certified arbitrator and former chairman of a Florida Bar Grievance Committee, which means that not only can I see both sides of a dispute, I can actually get it resolved. This is a city of laws, and I'm a lawyer. We need to clean up the code so that people can live in Miami Beach without the interference of government, even passive interference. I know what it's like to try and get plans through the building department, and I know how laws changing continually can be frustrating to any resident trying to do a project legally. Development gone wild needs to end. However, cities evolve, so there should always be reasonable development. The mayor and certain commissioners need to start answering the phones when residents call. City Hall operations need to be simplified so codes are easier to understand and comply with. We need to cut waste so we can cut taxes. We need to encourage local businesses so they can serve the residents. And most importantly, we need to treat local residents like they matter, ethically and respectfully. As far as me and my opponents stack up, let me tell you that they're all nice people. 3 are realtors, but one of the realtors has so many other things going on that it's hard to figure out how the city can even be a priority. Another candidate has a criminal arrest record, and yet another is a travel school grad who recently became a music contract reviewer for the election. Each will have no restrictions on doing business in Miami Beach and will likely profit if elected. I, on the other hand, as a criminal defense attorney, would be prohibited from taking any cases originating in Miami Beach. Do you think my competitors would pledge not to do their primary businesses in Miami Beach? I think not. The bottom line is that I am most qualified to be a city commissioner. I have run board meetings and actually understand the rules of order that govern the city commission. This allows me to hit the ground running. I write the contracts while the others fill in the blanks. I believe we should be able to live our lives without any fear of the city government, provided one is law-abiding and doesn't interfere with other residents' rights. In the simplest terms, the residents should be controlling City Hall. City Hall should not be controlling the residents. Finally, integrity has always been my mantra. It's not just a slogan for election season. Some people think integrity means truth. It really means just doing what you say you'll do. So the city's motto shouldn't be just get it done. It should be just do what you say you'll do. I promise to do all that. Thank you. Please vote for me, Jonathan Parker, on Election Day for Miami Beach City Commission, Group 4, punch number 46. Gracias. Por favor, vota por mí. Jonathan Parker. Marque el número 46 en el día de las elecciones. Thank you.
Aquí está la candidata para comisionada, Betsy Perez.
My name is Betsy Perez, and I'm number 47 on your ballot, and I'm the best choice for City Commissioner in Group 4. I'm a people person, and I pledge to be an elected leader you will be proud of. I have the integrity and skills to help resolve our city's long-term challenges while providing effective service and attention for the people at all times. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My love for travel brought me to Miami Beach in 1982, where I received top honors at a tourism and travel school. From there, I was immediately hired to work for Norwegian Cruise Lines. I met my husband Rudy that same year right on the beach, and we've raised our 5 children here. They've attended all the Miami Beach schools where I volunteered for over 25 years in the PTA. I think I served in every position: treasurer, secretary, vice president, any position that needed to be filled. That's always been my motto: do what it takes. I was a teacher's aide at Temple Beth Shalom, and I became very active in the Friends of North Beach and all of the after-school programs. We lived in South Beach, Mid Beach, and eventually made our roots in North Beach. Our family business is music, and in many ways we truly reflect the rhythm of Miami Beach. Rudy and I are proud to be homegrown small business success stories. Currently, I'm the Executive Director of the Latin Songwriters Hall of Fame. I also serve on the Board of Directors of Animal Welfare Society of South Florida, and I'm an active member of the North Beach Development Corp. We've built our entertainment companies together right here in Miami Beach, and I'm proud that we've served as national and global promoters of our beloved city. There's so many issues that our city faces. It's important that we fill the empty commission seats with people that we have the utmost integrity. Since 2013, when Mayor Levine and 3 new commissioners were elected, our local government has seen many reforms and much improvement. I'm proud to call Mayor Levine my personal friend. He has been a phenomenal mayor, and I'm in support of his re-election. I look forward to serving as your commissioner along with Mayor Levine and all of the other outstanding commissioners. I plan to live and work by our city's mission, and that is I'm committed to providing excellent public service and safety to all who live, work, and play in our vibrant, tropical, historic community. I plan to stand by the values, which are to work as a cooperative team of well-trained professionals, serve the public with dignity and respect, conduct the business of the city with honesty, integrity, and dedication. I have a passion to serve. I've always been that way. It comes from my parents who were very active in the community when I was growing up. One common question I've been getting throughout this process is, why do you want to be commissioner? And my basic answer is, because I care. I've learned that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I'm in it for the good of the community. I just want to do what's right for the city that I raised my 5 children in. And selfishly, I want my sons who moved away to come back and raise their kids here. I've been going door to door to earn the trust and support of the voters. I stand by this quote: "My faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have to try to make a difference." One thing that I've learned throughout this process is that I can't imagine anyone getting into this if it wasn't for the right reasons, and that's to help our fellow citizens. My platform for the future is a sensible one. Public safety must always be top priority. We need to improve public transportation. We must have ethical public service with integrity, maintain fiscal responsibility, improve North Beach, and protect our residents and the quality of life for them. As your commissioner, I plan to gather all the facts and information on every issue in order to make the most educated decision. I, Betsy Perez, am ready to serve you, and have launched my campaign to bring my private sector professional experience, my integrity, my community activism, and my dedication and love for Miami Beach to serve as your commissioner in Group 4. I'm number 47 on your ballot, and you can visit my campaign website at www.betsyperezmiamibeach.com. For us to realize victory together, please vote for me and join my campaign as a volunteer. Thank you.
Los 2 candidatos para la comisión en el Grupo 5 son Ricky Ariola y Mark Whitehorn. Aquí está el candidato para comisionado, Ricky Ariola.
My name is Ricky Ariola, and I have a clear vision for our city's future. I envision Miami Beach as one of the best American cities to live in. I acknowledge that this is a lofty goal, but as a united community, it is an achievable goal. Our city is on an undeniable path of progress. I seek to continue that trend by lending my knowledge, skills, and abilities to the job of commissioner. My proven leadership will lead to freedom from congestion, an enhanced quality of life, and a cleaner, safer Miami Beach. Over the course of my professional career, I have been fortunate enough to build a successful business that employs over 1,000 South Florida residents. As a business leader, I am skilled at identifying opportunities and challenges, developing action plans, setting high standards, and executing those plans. In fact, my company has been recognized as the best place to work in Florida. I will bring that same skill set to City Hall. Throughout my public service career, I have built relationships that span beyond Miami Beach's city limits, and once in office, I will use my relationships at the local, state, and federal level to leverage benefits back to Miami Beach's residents. As your next commissioner, I will bring pragmatic business solutions to government so that it may continue to run effectively to serve you best. Miami Beach residents deserve freedom from traffic gridlock. Breaking free from the chains of congestion requires Miami Beach to adopt transportation solutions fit for the 21st century. Mass transit is a key element for any modern city. Baylink, light rail, and trolley service should be incorporated into an overall transit master plan. I recognize that our streets are not safe for pedestrians and cyclists. Protected bike lanes and traffic calming measures should be prioritized so that we may become a more livable and walkable city. The best chance to reduce traffic is through proper planning for the future. And as your commissioner, I will require transit-oriented development so that moving forward, every new project will not add to our traffic problems. I will fight to protect and enhance our quality of life as your commissioner. I oppose gambling in Miami Beach as well as the expansion of gaming throughout the county. Gambling destroys lives and can ruin the fabric of a community. As a city, we must focus on elements that strengthen our community, such as robust education system, engaged citizens, and services for the elderly. These quality of life issues play into creating a 21st century city. Miami Beach can be modernized without having to sacrifice its heritage. By preserving our Art Deco architecture, we protect a cultural heritage that distinguishes Miami Beach from every coastal town in the United States. We must pay homage by protecting the homes and landmarks that make Miami Beach a unique place to live and visit. A cleaner, safer Miami Beach is necessary so that we may not only continue to attract tourists and businesses, but also provide the highest level of satisfaction among our residents. A world-class city doesn't have litter piling on its streets, parks, and benches. Climate change is a global issue, but we can do our part locally. The danger of rising sea levels is real. We must protect our homes by implementing adaptive strategies to sea level rise. Mayor Levine's initiatives, such as the installation of pumps throughout our city, provide a good starting point. We must continue making this a top priority and invest taxpayer resources to protect our homes and our city. As your commissioner, we will keep our streets and neighborhoods dry. In conclusion, I've walked every neighborhood on Miami Beach for the past 5 months, and I have met thousands of residents. I'm running a grassroots campaign, and it has been an experience of a lifetime. I truly believe that with your support and my proven leadership, we can make Miami Beach the top American city to live in. I humbly ask for your support on November 3rd so that we may realize Miami Beach's potential together. Thank you.
Aquí está el candidato para comisionado, Mark Whitehorn.
Hi, my name is Mark Whitehorn, and I'm your candidate for Miami Beach Commission in Group 5. My family has a long history here in Miami Beach. I first moved here in 1980, right after graduating from the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City with a degree in marketing and commercial photography. My brother and I lived together on Meridian and 14th. At that time, South Beach wasn't what it was today. South of 5th was a scary place. Ocean Drive was full of rocking chairs and Lincoln Road was deserted. But we liked being single and living on South Beach. We enjoyed Miami Beach's cool vibe, places, and people. We then moved to Morton Towers on Bay and 15th Street. We were the youngest people in the building, with the average age being 80. Today is known as the Flamingo, and the average age has certainly changed. A couple of years later, one of my clients, Teresita Gomez, introduced me to her old college roommate, Dee Dee Schofel. Dee Dee was a beach native who had gone away to college. Upon her return, she was aghast on the downturn of Miami Beach. Our relationship blossomed and we were married. We decided to buy a home in a blighted neighborhood called North Beach. Our friends thought we were crazy, but we knew better. We knew the beach would come back. Dee Dee became active in the Miami Beach Jewish Community Center while I gave my time to the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. Under the leadership of people like Bruce Singer, Joy Alschuler, now Malikoff, Gerald K. Swartz, Neeson Kasdan, and Michael Milberg, the Chamber set out to revive South Beach. I joined many committees and went on many tours of Ocean Drive and Lincoln Road. All of a sudden, there was a renewed interest in Art Deco and South Beach. Then one fine day in 1988, Dee Dee surprised me. She was pregnant with our first son, David. Little did we know our lives were about to change. 3 years later, we were blessed with our second son, Matthew. Our focus then turned to raising our family. We joined Temple Beth Shalom, where both boys attended Mommy and Me classes and the foundation school. It was here that our boys made friendships and bonds that have lasted through the years. We knew Miami Beach was going to be our home for a long time, so I became a member of the school board at Temple Beth Shalom, which I later chaired. Our challenge there was teaching active kids spirituality. We gave the children a perspective on being part of a community. For 10 years, I taught 6th graders at the Saturday school at Beth Shalom. The first half of the year, I focused on ethics, and the remainder of the year, we looked at history of the Jews. It was very rewarding work. Today, many of my students are successful adults. When David was about to enter kindergarten at North Beach Elementary School, we approached Matt and Debbie Leibowitz. They were starting Friends of North Beach Elementary, a program which raised private dollars to hire teachers' aides in the classrooms. We became one of the founding families. We have been involved in numerous PTAs and committees, all geared towards getting our children a better education. Today, David is a doctor with a residency in surgery. Matthew is attending Washington University Law School in St. Louis. We are very proud of our boys. About 8 years ago, I became active with the North Beach Development Corporation, where I served as president for 2 years. Our goal was to better North Beach, and with the help of my friends Carol Housen, Police Neighborhood Resource Officer Julio Blanco, Mercedes Gagares from the Code Department, and others, we all teamed up to rid North Beach of crime and filth. It worked, and now our neighborhood is on the cusp of an exciting revival. I also sit as the NBDC member on the city's Transportation and Parking Committee, which I chair. Over the years, we have focused on mass transit, trolleys, parking issues, the construction of the Port Tunnel, and the redo of Alton Road. Our committee is concerned that if we keep building without providing the infrastructure or proper mass transit and parking to compensate for the growth. As your commissioner, I will look at traffic and parking as well as other quality of life issues like flooding, litter, and crime. Miami Beach is facing a growth spurt, and as a longtime resident, I will make sure that we grow responsibly. Once again, my name is Mark Whitehorn, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 3rd as your commissioner in Group 5. Thank you for your time.
Los dos candidatos para la comisión en el Grupo 6 son John Elizabeth Alemán y Mark Samuelian. Aquí está la candidata para comisionado John Elizabeth Alemán.
I'm John Alemán, your best choice for City Commissioner in Group 6. I started my campaign to focus on the needs of Miami Beach residents. Since then, I've knocked on thousands of doors and met thousands of people in their homes and all over town. Thank you again to those of you who spoke with me, signed my petition, and placed my name on this year's ballot. Soon, votes will be cast and important choices for our future will be made. I've been a resident of Miami Beach for more than 21 years. My husband, Jose Alemán, and I are raising 2 young sons. I'm proud to be a self-made business executive and an active member of our community. My 25-year corporate career in technology includes executive positions at Fortune 500 Miami-based companies such as Ryder and Mastech. What I'm most proud of, besides my 2 wonderful sons, is my successful work in their Miami Beach schools. I was honored to be recognized for my impact and results by being named Miami-Dade County PTA President of the Year while at North Beach Elementary. I remained a strong supporter of public school education as chairwoman of the City of Miami Beach Quality Education Committee. I'm a Florida native with a military family background. By now you may know about the story of how I was named John. My mother, a special education teacher who died when I was 14 years old, is the original girl named John. My grandfather, Dr. William Fitz, named my mother John to fulfill a promise made to his World War II buddy and fellow Army medic. I'm proud to be named after my mother, and my husband and I have continued this legacy in the naming of our son, John. My professional experience and work in our community have prepared me to serve as your city commissioner. We have many problems to solve if we are to remain the best city in which to live, work, and raise a family. I applaud the mayor and the commission for their successful efforts at flood control, the convention center renovation, and setting our police department on the right track. The next issues to resolve include traffic congestion, parking, improving public transportation, and preparing our city for the future while preserving our history and iconic persona. All of these issues go to the heart of what your local city commissioner must focus on: maintaining and improving our quality of life. I've run a very positive campaign that focuses on the issues to keep our city moving forward. Unfortunately, some outside of our city have chosen to falsely attack me and attempt to tarnish my reputation. and I do hold my opponent responsible for that. My opponent is very new to our city. He's a real estate investor who has lived here less than 2 years, and in his campaign has attempted to mislead the public in order to gain your trust. But revealing the truth is what elections are for, and you, the voters, will make the final decision. In me, you will always receive the truth about myself, my platform, and about my actions. We may not always agree on a specific issue or policy, but I will always honestly articulate my reasons for how I vote or conduct myself. In Group 6, the choice is clear. Vote for my opponent, a recent arrival with questionable intentions. Or vote for me, a 21-year resident with a solid professional and civic track record in this city, raising sons here who are fourth-generation Miami Beach residents. Vote number 50 on your ballot, and you'll have a commissioner with deep ties to our community, with the qualifications and experience to serve as your advocate, with a track record of real results in our schools, and the right motivation to make sure our city remains a great place to live. Because of my deep ties and track record, I have already earned the endorsement of reputable organizations and elected leaders, such as the Save Action PAC, City Commissioners Michael Grieco and Joy Malakoff, and County Commissioner Bruno Barrero. For more information about me or my platform, call me at 305-968-5220 or visit my campaign website at johnalaman.com. I humbly ask you to vote for me, John Elizabeth Alaman, by marking number 50 on your ballot for City Commissioner in Group 6. Thank you for your support.
Aquí está el candidato para comisionado Mark Samuelian.
Hello, I'm Mark Samuelian, candidate for Miami Beach City Commission, Group 6. Our city is at an important time in its history, and the stakes couldn't be higher for this election. We face real pressing issues, especially overdevelopment driven by the influence of special interest. As an independent commissioner, free of the influence of special interest, I will focus full-time on you, the residents of our city. I've spent the past 7 months meeting and talking to over 2,000 Miami Beach residents, and you have told me what your priorities are: improving traffic congestion, addressing our flooding problems, and upgrading our quality of life in areas like education, green space, safety, and the preservation of our historic homes and neighborhoods. You've also made it clear that we need to raise the bar at City Hall. Before I outline my plans for how we address these important challenges, I'd like to share a bit about myself. I come from proud working class roots, and I'm a hard worker. My grandparents came to this country and settled in Boston to live the American dream. My grandfather also lived in Coral Gables, and I have fond early memories of my time in South Florida. My father was a hairstylist, and my mother was a homemaker. I was the first in my family to go to college. I graduated from Georgia Tech with honors in industrial engineering, so I have real expertise that can help us here on the beach. I received my MBA from Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania, then worked at the consulting firm Accenture, where I became a partner. When leading companies like Pepsi or J&J had major problems, they hired my company and me to find and implement solutions. My consulting work brought me back to South Florida in the 90s. I fell in love with Miami Beach and bought my first home here in 2003. I've lived in 3 different homes on the beach and live now on the Venetian Islands with my life partner, Laura Dominguez. I've been very active in service to our community. I helped start the Alton Road Business Association and was instrumental in the success of the Alton Road Trolley. I serve on the board of Miami Beach United, a leading residents group. I graduated the Miami Beach Leadership Academy and serve on the board of Pets Trust to protect animals in Dade County. Finally, as a former national chess champion, I'm honored to be able to tutor students in chess at Miami Beach High and Nautilus Middle School. I am proud of my record as a business and community leader and a professional problem solver, and I want to bring these skills to our city government. I'm running for our city commission to give back to the community I love and deliver for the residents of Miami Beach. I've knocked on doors for the last 200 days and set a Miami Beach record for the number of signatures on my ballot petition. Based on what you shared, my plan has 4 key points. First, traffic and parking. We need to rein in overdevelopment and find creative ways to keep people moving. Expanding the trolley across all of Miami Beach is a good first step. Number 2, flooding and rising sea levels. We need to protect our home with dynamic strategies that keep us dry and are environmentally friendly. As an engineer, I can contribute much to this important challenge. Third, quality of life. We need to put residents first and deliver on issues including education, green space, safety, and preserving our historic homes and neighborhoods. Finally, raising the bar at City Hall. Our city government needs to do more with less, and we must limit the influence of special interests. With so much to do, we need someone like me that can hit the ground running. I'm also fortunate to be at the point in my career where I can work full-time to help tackle our challenges and be your voice on the Commission. I want to close with what I believe is the most important theme of this election: independence. For too long, special interests have had excessive influence on Miami Beach. We need to make sure that we elect officials who put residents first. That's why I'm not taking any campaign funds from lobbyists, prohibited developers, and companies that do business with the city. I have no business interests in South Florida, and I'm running back to give back to the community I love. In fact, I'll donate my salary to students and seniors every year.
Ahora, antes de entrar a las preguntas de Miami Beach, revisemos algunas fechas importantes para esta elección. Debes estar registrado antes del 5 de octubre para votar en esta próxima elección. Los votos por correo se pueden solicitar hasta las 5 p.m. el miércoles 28 de octubre y deben ser devueltos al Departamento de Elecciones a más tardar a las 7 p.m. el día de las elecciones, martes 3 de noviembre del 2015. Si usted obtiene un bote de ausencia y luego decide votar en un lugar de votación anticipada o el día de las elecciones en su recinto, es importante que traiga la boleta de ausencia con usted y lo presentará a la Secretaría de las Elecciones. Como recordatorio, el día de las elecciones es el martes 3 de noviembre. Los lugares de votación abren a las 7 a.m. y cierran a las 7 p.m. Para que sea más fácil para los votantes de Miami Beach, la votación anticipada se llevará a cabo en 2 lugares en Miami Beach, comenzando el lunes 19 de octubre. Las ubicaciones en Miami Beach son el Ayuntamiento de Miami Beach, 1700 Convention Center Drive, en la sala de conferencias en el primer piso, y la Biblioteca Pública de North Shore, ubicada en el 7501 Collins Avenue. Las fechas y horas de votación anticipadas son del lunes 19 de octubre hasta el viernes 23 de octubre de 7 a.m. a 3 p.m., desde el sábado 24 de octubre y el domingo hasta el 25 de octubre de 8 a.m. a 4 p.m., desde el lunes 26 de octubre hasta el viernes 30 de octubre de 11 a.m. a 7 p.m., el sábado 31 de octubre y el domingo 1 de noviembre de 8 a.m. a 4 p.m. El día de la elección, martes 3 de noviembre, debe votar en su distrito electoral designado. Una segunda elección, si es necesaria, se llevará a cabo el 17 de noviembre, 7 a.m. a 7 p.m., con la votación anticipada programada para el 14 y 15 de noviembre de 8 a.m. a 4 p.m. Ahora, vamos a repasar las preguntas de votación. Sobre la siguiente porción de este programa vamos a explicar las 2 preguntas de la boleta de Miami Beach. Un guía de elección con esta información también está disponible en línea en miamibeachfl.gov. Estas preguntas de la boleta de votación aparecerán en la boleta después de cualquier asunto nacional, estatal o del condado. El propósito de este programa es ofrecer explicaciones imparciales de las preguntas de boleta, de modo que al momento de la elección los electores de la ciudad pueden mejor informados y sentirse más cómodos con los asuntos de la ciudad que se les presentará en las urnas. Las explicaciones que proporcionaremos tienen la finalidad de brindar información general y los miembros del público que desean más información pueden comunicarse con la oficina del secretario municipal. Ahora, repasemos las preguntas y sus explicaciones respectivas. La primera pregunta de la votación es la siguiente. Enmienda la sección 1.03b4 de la Carta Constitucional para disponer la alienabilidad de los bienes inmuebles propiedad de la Agencia de Reurbanización de Miami Beach. La agencia, la sección 1.03b4 de la Carta Constitucional exige que la venta, permuta, traspaso o arrendamiento por un periodo de 10 años o más de bienes inmuebles propiedad de la ciudad que no requieren la aprobación de los electores o que no se mencionen de otro modo en la Carta Constitucional de la ciudad cuenta con la aprobación de un voto de 4-7 de los miembros de la Junta de Planificación y un voto de 6-7 de los miembros de la Comisión de la ciudad. Deber enmendarse la sección 1.03b4 de modo a exigir un voto de 4-7 de los miembros de la Junta de Planificación y un voto de 7-8 de los miembros de la Agencia de Reurbanización de Miami Beach para aprobar la venta, permuta, traspaso o arrendamiento por un periodo de 10 o más años de los bienes inmuebles propiedad de la agencia. Aquí está la explicación de esta primera pregunta. De acuerdo con la sección 1.03b de los estatutos de la ciudad, la venta, intercambio, traspaso o alquiler por 10 años o más, alienabilidad de los activos que son de la propiedad de la ciudad y que no requiere la aprobación de los votantes o que no se mencionen de otra manera en los estatutos de la ciudad, se requiere la autorización de la Junta de la Planificación de la ciudad en una votación de 4-7 y de la autorización de la Comisión de la ciudad por una votación de 6-7. Tanto la Junta de Planificación de la ciudad como la Comisión de la ciudad están integrados por 7 miembros. Esta propuesta busca enmendar la sección 1.03b4 de los estatutos de la ciudad al proveer que la alienabilidad de los activos propiedad de la Agencia de Reurbanización de Miami Beach, la agencia, requiere del voto aprobatorio de la mayoría de 4-7 de los miembros de la Junta de Planificación y el voto de 7-8 de los miembros de la agencia. Antes del 2015, la agencia estaba constituida por 7 miembros, los integrantes de la Comisión de la Ciudad. Con vigencia en el año 2015, la agencia está constituida por 8 miembros, los 7 integrantes de la Comisión y el miembro de la Comisión del Condado de Miami-Dade por el Distrito 5. Los requerimientos de votación para la alienabilidad de los activos propiedad de la agencia serán comparables a los requerimientos de votación por la alienabilidad de los activos propiedad de la ciudad, excepto que la votación requerida de la agencia será 7-8, debido al hecho de que la agencia ahora tiene 8 miembros. La segunda pregunta de la votación es la siguiente. 1.0 incremento máximo del coeficiente de utilización del suelo para usos residenciales y hoteleros en el distrito de superposición Ocean Terrace Overlay District. Deberá incrementarse el coeficiente de utilización del suelo, FAR por sus siglas en inglés, el cual regula el tamaño total de un edificio del distrito de superposición Ocean Terrace Overlay District, ubicado entre las calles 73 y 75 Collins Avenue y Ocean Terrace, y que abarca las zonas subyacentes designadas como Distrito Comercial 2, CD2 y Distrito de Entretenimiento de Uso Mixto, MXE, de un máximo de FAR de 2.0 a un máximo de FAR de 3.0, cuyo incremento en el FAR se utilizará solamente para usos residenciales y hoteleros. Aquí está la explicación de esta segunda pregunta. De acuerdo con la sección 1.03c de los estatutos de la ciudad, existe el requerimiento de que la ciudad lleve a cabo una elección y obtenga el voto mayoritario del electorado para permitir el aumento del índice de área de superficie, FAR, de cualquier propiedad. Los reglamentos de la ciudad para el desarrollo de los terrenos definen el índice de área de superficie como el área de superficie del edificio o edificios ubicados en cualquier lote dividido entre el área del lote. El FAR permite que la ciudad determine el máximo tamaño admisible de un edificio. Esta pregunta de la boleta de votación le pide a usted que decida si el FAR máximo existente de 2.0 para las propiedades del distrito de superposición Ocean Terrace Overlay District debería aumentarse en 1.0 FAR hasta un FAR máximo de 3.0, solo para usos residenciales y hoteleros en el distrito. Los usos comerciales o minoristas en el distrito permanecería en un FAR máximo de 2.0. Si esta pregunta de la boleta de votación resulta aprobada por la mayoría de los votantes, la Comisión de la Ciudad tendrá el permiso de adoptar una ordenanza para crear el distrito y aumentar el FAR para los usos residenciales y hoteleros dentro del distrito hasta un FAR máximo de 3.0. Si fuese adoptada tal ordenanza, los propietarios dentro del distrito tendrían la posibilidad de construir edificios para usos residenciales u hoteleros a un FAR máximo de 3.0. Esto podría dar como resultado la construcción de edificios con un área de superficie más grande que el área actualmente permitida por unidades residenciales y de hoteles. Se ha propuesto la ubicación del distrito entre las calles 73 y 75 desde la avenida Collins en el oeste hasta Ocean Terrace en el este. El mapa de zonificación en la pantalla muestra los linderos del distrito Superposición Ocean Terrace y los distintos distritos de zonificación circundantes. Se provee la siguiente codificación en los colores para ayudar en la comprensión del mapa. El área de color rosado es el distrito de zonificación del distrito comercial 2, CD2. El área de color púrpura es el distrito de zonificación para uso de entretenimiento mixto, MXE. El área marrón es el distrito de zonificación de baja intensidad residencial multifamiliar, RM1. El área amarilla es el distrito de zonificación residencial unifamiliar, RS4. El área azul es el distrito de zonificación para uso gubernamental, GU. El área roja reticulada y la línea que rodea el distrito de zonificación MXE, así como la porción del distrito de zonificación CD2 al este de la avenida Collins entre la calle 85 y la calle 73, esboza los límites del distrito propuesto. Usted ha estado viendo nuestro programa especial de información electoral para las elecciones general y especial del 3 de noviembre. Para más información electoral, visite miamibeachfl.gov o contacte la oficina del secretario de la ciudad. Gracias de nuevo por ver este programa especial sobre la próxima elección. Ahora sal y vota Miami Beach.